Welcome back. So let's just pass our some data to our views. Basically, this is our view, for example, and we want to pass some data. Let's just refer our controller first. The controller we use is home controller and then index method, right? And if I just go to app controllers and then open up my home controller, and then let's just create public function index method here, and that will simply return the home index, right? Working exactly the same. Okay, now we want to pass some data. Let's say, for example, I have a variable called user that equals to, for example, my name, and we can also use this with user equal to this user, right? Now if we just go to our index.blade file, we can access this variable. That is user, basically. There we go, right? And if we just again go back to our controller, and we can also create array, for example, and there are several other ways. For example, we just get rid of that and we can create something like that. User, okay, and index, that's called. There we go, working exactly the same way. Well, let's just pass a array. For example, we have data that's coming from database or coming from our model data, okay, and add some data here. For example, some users, for example, Alex, okay, and then how we can pass them. Basically, this is a complete array of data. And this is just a single dimensional array. We're not just associating anything. Okay, so let's just add a function. There is a method called compact, and then we'll simply pass data, okay, but this time not as a variable. We just pass the name of the data, okay. So if you just go here and then let's say, for example, use the data here and reload the page. Okay, still we are not getting it. Okay, so again, go to our index blade and data. I think that's fine because we just created array. For example, this could be your database model, and then we just passed it to this view. And if you just go to view, that's not working, and the error is HTML spatial characters. And what if we just die and dump this? Because you should see errors, how to solve them. There we go. That means that's working. So simply we need to for each this, okay. And these are basically when you use the @ sign and then for each. For example, you can use if and then include. These are basically blade directives, right? So we can say variable data as item, and then we can simply say item. Save and refresh the page. There we go. And let me just add li here so it looks good. Okay, there we go. You can see the data is still in a good way, but coming from the controller. So this is basically called passing data. And one thing that I want to mention, for example, if there is a page you want to visit, and you can see, sorry, the page could not be found, you can simply go to your vendor. If you just visit the app, the exception handler, and this is inside eliminate foundation and exception handler. Eliminate is basically inside our vendor, and then we simply need to go to Laravel framework, source, eliminate, and then foundation, exception, and then we have handler.php, and this basically handles all these type of errors. You can also put your custom 404 page. For example, this is basically 404 page. You can just customize it, or you can just create your own custom page, right? So that means that's working. So basically this was about views and the passing data to views and the master layout, all this stuff. I think you just learned a lot of things. So might be in the next upcoming videos we'll discuss about CSRF production and validation forms, etc., right? So see you in the next videos.